You know the names, you've seen the plays, but what about the stories behind the game? Welcome to Honorable Mentions with Tanner Morgan and Quinn Carroll, two teammates turned storytellers, breaking down life, film, and everything in between. From locker room laughs to real world lessons, nothing's off the record here. This is Honorable Mentions.
Morgan to throw, has time, lost one near side for Tyler Johnson. He has the catch at the 10, down the sideline, touchdown! What a play! He's got all the double, the one at the 10, turns it up 5, touchdown! Minnesota Golden Gophers!
All right, welcome back to the Honorable Mention podcast. I'm here, Tanner Morgan with Quinn Carroll. We have the one and only Gopher legend, center for the New York Giants, John Michael Schmitz, All-American, all the things, second-round draft pick. John, thanks for joining the podcast, brother.
Appreciate you guys having me on.
We've got literally this is fun for me because John and I came in together, played 6 years together at the U, and then got to play with Quinn at the back end of our collegiate career. Yeah, and John and I were both going to go to Western Michigan together, actually, and then flip to Minnesota. This is a funny story. I'll lead into this, Quinn. I'll let you go after this. When Coach Fleck took the job at Minnesota, I was the first guy to flip and commit to Minnesota. And I texted in our group chat with the Western Michigan commits. And I said, hey, guys, I'm going to go to Minnesota. I appreciate you all. Hopefully some of you guys come with me. We'll see what ends up happening. But best of luck. The last text message in that chat was JMS texted, how are you going to commit somewhere if you've never seen it, bro? And then I left and I laughed. JMS was committed like 3 hours later. You know what I mean?
Oh my
It was
gosh.
hilarious.
Yeah, no, that was I remember when I got back on the campus at Minnesota, I called you when I committed. I was like, yep, I guess I commit. I did the same thing you did. Committing right on the spot.
It's like, well, sorry I said that, bro. You were right.
You're right,
and it worked out for you, right? I mean, it worked out.
Yeah.
It worked out for both
of us. So look at this.
Yeah. John Michael, tell us about that decision. Like, you're a Western Michigan commit, you're bought in to the Broncos, you're rowing the boat in Kalamazoo. What was that transition like? Like, Tanner's talked about it before. He had to make a decision in a matter of hours. So just fill us in on that.
I think it was like 2 weeks maybe before like National Signing Day, and Fleck flips from Western Michigan to Minnesota. And like, I mean, I'm bought in, like, Fleck's culture. I'm bought in, like, going to Western Michigan. And when he flips, like, it was obviously, it hurt because I was ready to go play for him and stuff. So, I think I got a text from G, and he was like, stay patient. Like, coach is going to call you just either tonight or tomorrow. And I think I got a call the next day because I think we were all waiting like, oh, like, who's he going to bring to Minnesota? And he called me, and he was just like, he just loved the type of player, the type of person I was. And he wanted me, and he knew that I was like, I had Big Ten potential. Like, I was a Big Ten player. And he was like, I want you to come with. But he was like, the only like thing is like, I need to know like within by the end of or like he gave me like a couple days or something. He goes, I need to know before I start doing this recruiting class, because he had only like 2 weeks to do it. And I remember I was like, all right, let me call my mom. I think I was at my buddy's house when he called me, and I was like, all right, let me call my mom. He goes, you know what? Let me call your mom. I was like, all right. And I was like, the thing was, my mom, they had like this like rule for my sisters. They're like, all right, you can't like, or like try and pick a college that's like reasonable distance to drive, like a 2-3 hour radius, because she wanted to see us. So it's like, all right. So that's why, I mean, Western Michigan was like 2.5 hours from the house. It was perfect location. And then so when I looked at Minnesota, it was like more than like 6.5 hour drive. So we were like, all right. And then, so short story, I mean, Fleck called my mom, And I was like, what's she going to say? I was like, but I really want to go play Big Ten football and stuff. And she ended up committing for me. She was like, yep, you're going to go. I was like, he's like, I know it's your dream to go play Big Ten football. And I then talked to Fleck after that. I was like, I'm in. I'm totally bought in, coach. Like, I'm ready to go. And now, yeah.
I love it. Before we get into more of like, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say
I cut you off.
You were the early enrollee. Like you came in
me and Trent and Brock, yeah.
And then I came, and I was the one that came in the summer, and it was I was like, what happened that first that first off season? I just remember going up to those guys, and they were like, it was definitely torture. You were like,
nah, it was a grind, right? We were doing you implement a new culture, you have to do all that stuff. It was a wake up call though, as a 17-year-old, like walking into that. If it was really nice for us when the class of 2017 came on campus, because it was like, all right,
yeah,
nice, all right, our guys are here. That and some of the guys that we've been able to help, develop relationships with, and all those things are here, and like this is good. And we had kind of been through a lot of the stuff at that point already, but I want to get into kind of training camp this past year, and you can look at the room you had as well from the quarterback standpoint. Quarterback center relationship is very unique, right? And so the quarterback room that you got to be around is very special, right? You had the one and only Jameis Winston, right? Which, by the way, I loved the clip of him in camp when he talked about like, hey, if I hit the crossbar, you all got to come to Bible study. Obviously, me and Faith loved that. Jaxon Dart, who ended up starting this year, has a ton of potential, and I'm sure you could speak into that. Just kind of has that swagger, that it factor. Russell Wilson, right, Mr. Moonball, the pro, right, just a legend, right, Super Bowl champion. You don't have to go into too much detail about that. And then Tommy DeVito, who we played against in college and had a great collegiate career, and then kind of got to start in New York and kind of took social media by storm last year. So that was the 4 quarterbacks you had in training camp in the room. I mean, that's got to be one of, in OTAs as well, one of the most interesting quarterback rooms of all time, I would think. Can you speak into what that relationship is like from, in general, quarterback center, but just kind of that room and how unique that was for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, you talk about I mean, like you said, I don't think you can ask for a better group of guys in a quarterback room. You got the type of veteran leadership from Russ and Jameis. Like those 2 guys alone have played and seen a lot of football. And the knowledge they have is out of this world. So especially going into OTAs, I mean, we obviously thought that Russ was we thought Russ was going to be our guy for the whole season. Like we were practicing with Russ, and obviously doing the quarterback center exchange, like you just talked about. Like I mean, like having that bond with the QB1, like that was Russ was taking all those reps and stuff. So you talk about a guy that is a professional, and how hard it was for him to kind of like be the guy that Jaxon looked up to when they moved on after a couple games. And you talk about resilience, you talk about a team first guy, and I mean I give a lot of credit to Russ for being in that room, staying locked in those meetings, and helping the team out. I know it wasn't the best of season, obviously, for the Giants, but you talk about the type of men that were in that room. Very, very special men. I mean, and to talk about Dart's gonna be a baller. Like you talk about a guy that just has that swagger, that you just know he's gonna go out there and make a play. And he's gonna want the game on his shoulders. And so yeah.
Did you talk to him about how to slide? That was a big media thing. Whatever. I'm not gonna poke you about that. Quinn, you guys can both speak into that. Like the just in general, our last last episode's guest was Greg Johnson. Greg Johnson talked about one of his favorite things to do as O-lineman, right? He played center, played all around, up front going into senior year now at the U. When I said the U, obviously the University of Minnesota. Talked about one of his favorite things is when, somebody kind of hits the running back late or they get into a scrum and it's just like the whole line swarms to it. And I think you guys have all done that. So talk about the physicality it takes to play O-line and then specifically like the physicality it takes to play center, right? Because I don't think most people understand the difference and the uniqueness that it takes. Obviously, we always hear about the intellectual standpoint of the centers making the ID points and, running the show up front for the guys. But what about the physicality standpoint that you have to play center?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about, especially in the NFL, like a lot of teams love playing like the 5 on the line. Um, they love playing 5 on the line. So you're as a center position, you're always gonna have the nose, either a shade, a 2-eye, or even a head up. So you talk about a guy that's 350 plus, gonna be like right across from you looking, and you not only you have to go block him, you got to be ready to go snap that ball. And by that time, before you even think about that, before you even think about blocking this guy, you got to make out all the calls, making sure everyone's on the same page. And like what we talked about with a younger quarterback, like helping him out with potential threats and like trying to get him in the best position. I mean, working with him throughout the week of what kind of blitz looks we'll be looking at and all that. But I mean, for a physicality standpoint, I mean, obviously, um, you're always attacking. You're always going to be getting. I know you're going to say something. You're always going to be. You're always going to be in the fire. So yeah.
Always
That's
attacking
awesome.
what's
Never
next,
full.
Quinn? That's
Never
right, baby.
full.
Tank time mentality.
There you go.
I mean, the center position is for sure the hardest position on the field. Tanner probably disagrees because he's a quarterback, but most guys
disagree.
most guys don't choose to play center. Like they're not born and raised a center. When did the center life kind of choose you?
College. So all high school. So what is it? So high school, freshman year, I was actually forced to play center because no one else could snap. And they were like, yeah, we kind of need you to play center. But other than that, when I got to sophomore to senior year of high school, I was playing left tackle. I played left tackle
Silky.
and locked it down on the island, that had
Let's
to.
go.
But I just remember I've been talking to Coach Callie, man, and getting ready to for Minnesota, and he was like, "Yep, like you're definitely gonna be a center, like just like your build. Obviously, I'm not the biggest of guys um, for an O-line position. I mean, that was kind of the big reason why I was kind of under recruited going into high school. Now I was a low 3-star recruit. A lot of Big Ten teams didn't think I was big enough to go play on the on at that level, and they thought I was going to get kind of like steamrolled on the line. But so yeah, I mean, I obviously
clearly,
it mainly started freshman year of college.
Yeah. Well, clearly you didn't get steamrolled. And be honest with us. When did you know that you were kind of built different? Like when you got to college, I know you were under recruited and a late commit to the Gophers, finally got your Big Ten shot. But when did it sort of click where you were like, holy shit, I can dominate at this level?
I would say I'd say my first start. My first start at 2019, Nebraska. We ran for almost like 350 yards, I bet, that game. We were running all over these guys.
Yeah.
And I knew it was going to be a tough matchup because they played 5 on the line as well. And they were like, all week, they were like, most of these plays are going to be made from the center position. So all the outside zone schemes, the cutback lanes for Mo, and our running backs. Like it was going to be basically get into the second level guys to go get the linebackers and stay on. I mean, had a great game. I think I was like PFF like player of the week that week. Like this a breakout
Woo!
game. My
Big
first
PFF guy.
start.
my first
First
start
start is
And
crazy.
so yeah. So yeah.
That's awesome.
That was the infamous Scott Frost hoodie game too for Gopher
Yeah.
fans in general.
Oh yeah,
That was the Scott Frost hoodie game.
Oh man.
that's
That
incredible.
was
Talk about your what was your favorite memory as a Gopher? Obviously, breaking out, starting against Nebraska, huge
Yeah.
game. Probably Penn State that same year was a huge game, but don't say Penn State because everyone who played in that game says Penn State. What was your favorite memory as a Gopher?
I would say one of our biggest challenges out of that season was our bowl game against Auburn. I would say
Oh,
the
yeah.
back and forth battle. Like, I mean, I was not a lot of people know, but I was actually battling through which a lot of people do, but I was battling through. I don't remember what shoulder it was, but I had a torn labrum, had a sole on him. Obviously, a lot of O linemen tear their labrum, so. Not only going
Yeah.
against a really good player and Derek Brown across the D line, who's obviously a star player for the Panthers. So obviously they had a really good D line, and I remember like what a back and forth battle it was on offense and defense. Just everyone making plays, coming together, and then just getting the win. And doing everything we can. Everyone coming up with everyone coming up big in their moment. So
Besides the
Yep.
quarterback throwing a pick on the first third down of the game, that was whatever. That's fine.
yeah,
It is what it is.
exactly.
Yeah, and Soraka left to go to Penn State. That was an extra wrinkle in it too, and all that. Which to me, like that's the that bowl game this year, Outback Bowl, the ReliaQuest Bowl this year was the Vandy Iowa game. Phenomenal bowl game. But that's something when you look at it, like as the landscape in college football continues to change, like hopefully we still have competitive bowl games.
Yeah.
Or if it turns into a longer thing, right? But like that was a great game that I loved watching. Obviously, Iowa, as we all know how great Iowa is, did their thing against Vandy, who had a phenomenal year, and that was good for the Big Ten and conference. As Big Ten guys. John, I want to talk about another bowl game. Let's run the clock back, run the clock forward to 2021 when the boys are out in Arizona. We're playing the West Virginia Mountaineers.
Oh
And
yeah.
we get this great idea to hand the ball to Daniel Fa'alele
Yep.
on a fullback dive, which was a great touchdown, and that clip gets played all the time. What did people not know about that clip? And then what did it force you to do, which was a major monumental thing in your life and your relationship the following days after? Could you tell that story?
Yeah, I could definitely. So yeah, our first touchdown that game obviously came from the fullback dive from Daniel, and as everyone sees in that clip, he runs it right literally in the A gap, the left A gap, and basically paving the way. Basically I go through and like face plant. Let's just put my defender in the end zone. I face plant. Daniel and another defender land on my foot. I ended up breaking my second metatarsal in my foot, and basically I was like in a boot, and I just remember the trying to get up and cheer and be happy, and I just walking it off. I'm like, there is something wrong with my foot right now, and I'm just trying to be happy. Like Daniel just scored a touchdown, and I just remembered like, hey, we actually got to go for two here. Like everyone was like, the first time we score in this bowl game, we're going for two with the fake field goal. And I was in my head, I was like, I got to stay in because no one knows what to do on this play. So I was on like a one-on-one island block. I basically just I couldn't move. I really couldn't walk. So I just ended up just like grabbing and pinning or like kind of position blocking this defender. And Brock just goes in for the 2-point conversion. We get it. I'm going on the sideline. I'm like hobbling over there. And I just remember everyone cheering. I'm just like, get out of the way, and saying a bunch of probably curse words and stuff. And everyone's cheering. I was like, get out of the way. I was going to the, what is it? I was going to the trainers to check on my foot. And Callie's like, you good? I'm like, no, I'm not good. I was like, I think I broke my foot. I can barely put any pressure on it. And so go back. I was getting an x-ray. It's broken. And so the next, was it? I think it was the next day. I'm in this boot. We stay in Arizona with my family and Daniela. Um, and I had this all thing planned out. I bought a ring, everything. I was trying to hide it from her, and we ended up going to this Papoga Park. I think that's how you say it. If you're from Arizona and I mispronounced it, just help me out there. But yeah, we ended up going to this park with a beautiful view. It's called Hole in the Rock, and I ended up getting down on one knee and proposing to my wife. And everyone just sees the picture of me in that boot, and it's definitely I have it in our house just hanging up, and it's just definitely it was a special moment that I'll always remember. So yeah.
Yeah, and you can always thank Daniel because of that boot. All 400 pounds, right into right into
Yeah.
John.
A big mass
That's
just coming
fantastic.
down.
I love it. It's a hilarious story to me every time because that clip ends up getting played a lot.
It
It's like,
does.
remember when Daniel Faalele scored a touchdown, and it's like nobody knows that like John broke his foot on this play.
Right.
And then what transpired after it. So thank you for bringing our listeners into that story. It's one of my favorites. Tell us another favorite story. You can even lean it specifically more to right now. When a
Yeah.
workout grind's going on, totally different than college football. You could take it that way or something in general. Tell us a favorite story about just kind of the off season. Um, and when you're looking at being in college football, the differences in the NFL, like the offseason, you get a lot of time together, you grinded the winter workouts, mat drills, any of that stuff. What's one
Oh
of your
yeah.
favorite moments from just off-season college football in your 6 years that you had? One of my favorite ones is when we were at the hockey game and John grabs the flag and is leading the student section against Wisconsin. That was a great moment. I love that.
Oh yeah, that was definitely a good one. And then I remember talking to the Wisconsin goalie because that was Mo, who was
Yep.
also a Gopher the year before, and he ended up transferring to Wisconsin. And I just remember yelling I think we all were yelling up his name. He actually gave up like 5 goals, and he just got pulled. I want to
Yeah.
say so. It was a rough.
Yeah,
He
and
got swept.
he went to high school with, the Rushmeyers, and so
Actually,
it was a
yeah.
whole thing, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh my gosh. A good memory of off season.
You could just speak into Coach Nickel in general and what he meant to you in your development. Coach Nickel, head
Yeah.
strength coach at the University of Minnesota. What it kind of meant for you, your relationship, and how it, you guys still talk and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Nick always checks it on me still. He sends me a text. I actually gotta give him a call. I haven't checked in on him in a while, but he's uh he's a guy that, just connected with like right off the bat. I mean, he connects with everyone. He holds everyone to a high standard, but not only like he's a coach that you can make a personal connection with. Like he's very open. He's definitely an interesting guy with his accent. Everyone knows it. Everyone loves it. And you talk about a guy that um, he's a great person. You talk about all his kids he's got all girls, and a great dad. And talk about I was just talking to one of our other teammates, Noah and Trent, about Coach Nickel.
Mm.
And I remember coming in for breakfast, and just the accent he would do, and just like for weigh-ins and stuff. If you're light, he would go grab a sandwich or go do
Mhm.
something like that. But yeah,
That's awesome. Coach Nickel obviously has influenced our lives, all of our lives, to an extreme degree, and we've got probably a million off-season memories that we could share. But you were talking about that injury in 2021, that bowl game, and what a lot of people don't know is that that injury kind of was a big reason why you came back in the 2022 season, right? Um, so talk about the development that Minnesota had in you and how it prepared you for the NFL.
Yeah, that was kind of a big reason because I knew, um, was it coming back, um, and would and a lot of talks with not only Fleck, Callahan, a bunch of just guys that I trusted in my corner, my parents, Daniela, um, just people that knew had the best interest for me, and especially going through that injury. Um, I knew that one more year um, would not only set me up for more success down the road, but with Coach Nickel and stuff, like him, like coming back, with me coming back, and the help he did just to get me back to that level, little things we had to do to continue to build up my strength that season, and how they had to monitor the workload. Like, I think in the spring ball, I think I actually messed up my foot again in spring ball. So it was kind of like a light off season for me with football, rather not as weight training, but just for football. So
Yeah.
yeah, Tanner's laughing because of the spring training.
Oh yeah, I know. I remember it. I remember. I mean, obviously, like you earn the right to have that by no means, but the guys still would give you trouble. Like, oh, John, you gonna practice today? Oh, I forgot. You're just putting your jersey on, huh? Yeah, no big deal. Especially
and spring
especially
training.
Axe, right?
Oh, in spring,
Yeah.
yeah, and in spring ball, definitely. Oh man, just getting back from that injury, they're like, "Oh, you ready to go yet?" And just like looking at them, just still going.
Yeah, there's no chance. There's no chance you're gonna practice, and you shouldn't have. But they took the opportunity, to give you a hard time about it and get you going a little bit, which I always thought was funny.
Yeah,
I don't know. I loved it. That's part of the stuff of, you look back and those are moments you think about, and especially with, certain guys, like I think Axel kind of poked at you a lot, and talked about him a lot this podcast. But in general, John, and right now the season we're in, and kind of the timeline of the off season, the Senior Bowl is going on right now. That was a big thing for you. It's a big thing for a lot of guys.
yeah,
Of Boye Mafe, who's about to play in the Super Bowl, had a great showing at the Senior Bowl. We had the Danny Strigow, one of our former teammates, had the crazy experience of where he showed up, in 7 hours, got off the plane, went straight to practice, started playing. What was the Senior Bowl experience like for you, and how did you use that to kind of help set yourself up for success and show teams what you were about from a physicality, and just kind of the person you are and why they should draft you?
yeah. I remember, what is it? Just the Senior Bowl experience, and just how I knew that a lot of teams kind of probably doubted that I would be able to compete at a high level against the best of the best. I mean, and that was the big reason why I made it. I made sure that I was going to go play in that Senior Bowl and
Mhm.
give it my all and go dominate out there, take one rep at a time, and just um, be be relentless. And that, I mean, that's kind of like how I got to where I am, is um, basically the just how I play the game, the effort I give, always going
Mhm.
downfield. And I remember one of the scouts came up to me after, I'm not sure, I forgot what team it was, but one of the scouts came up to me after one of the practices, and just saw how right away I was leading the O-line group, running the drills. And I was just, obviously, everyone that has seen a Minnesota practice knows that there's no walking, and we're always running from drill to drill. And that was kind of the standard um, that was set in place, and that's built. my game and brought it to a higher level. And so, yeah.
That's awesome. I know that had a lot to prepare you for the league. Minnesota had a lot to prepare you. Your combine training, even going to the combine. But what
Yeah.
was it that shocked you the most about the NFL when you showed up as a rookie, second round pick, 57th overall, I think it is.
Yeah.
You got a lot of weight on your shoulders to be a guy, and especially at center. They wanted you to come in and be that starter. So what shocked you the most? Just about your first year.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about um, like NFL is truly treated as like a business. And, um, you talk about the relationship you get to experience with your teammates, like through OTAs, through camp, and then not a lot of people understand like how tough it is after camp for a lot of players that are cut and have to find or cut and then either got to go to practice squad or they got to find out another team to go to, or if there is even a spot for um them that they going to continue to train, or are they going to call it quits. But I mean, the relationships you have, and as a snap of the finger at the end of camp, like one day everyone's the roster's cut like nearly in half.
Yeah.
And it's kind of tough to see the guys that you made a really good connection with not knowing if they're going to be coming back or not. Because in college, I mean, now there's over 100 guys on the roster, and those are your guys. Obviously, if no one transfers, those are your guys year round that that you've been battling with all year. And so yeah, I mean, I'm a very um personal guy. I care about a lot about people and my teammates and family and all that. I think everyone knows that about me. Um, so making those connections early on, like as a rookie, and then all of a sudden you're in this meeting and half the room is cut and like half. I think it was just kind of like a wake up moment um, for me. So
Yeah. Yeah. Tanner and I know that firsthand. We're fortunate enough to have been teammates with
yeah.
you, and glad to still have this relationship. But talk about like what helped you crush that transition, because you showed up and started right away at center, which not a lot of people can do. Um, so what was it? Was it a coach or your family or Daniela? Um, what really helped you in that transition?
Yeah, I would say, honestly, everyone really. You gotta, you're leaning on teammates got veteran guys that kind of help you through this
Hmm.
process. You talk about family members that understand that there are long days and sometimes that I'm gonna be tired to not give you a call, but I'll send you a text or something like that just to check in. And just and obviously Daniela being there for me always, and just helping me out with any way possible. So um saying getting through like, and obviously your agents, I mean, having an agent that's played in the league is very helpful. He shout out
Hmm.
Jeremiah. um he's been a truly a great guy to have in your corner to help me with this process, to understand it better, and to make that jump like you said. I mean, when I first showed up for the Giants, the position was never handed to me. I just knew there was an opportunity to compete.
Hmm.
So for me to go out there and prove to not only the coaches and to the front office people, but also to my teammates that I can be trusted out there, and given that position to go out there and start. And so, yeah.
Cool. Now that you've been in the offense for a few years, dealing with a rookie quarterback, what was that like? Having a fresh set of eyes in there that you know more about the offense than he does. We talked about O-line and quarterback or center quarterback relationships. Talk about your relationship with Jaxon and how you helped develop him in his rookie year.
Yeah. As like from year 1 to year 2 to year 3 for me, obviously just continue to know more about um the offense and different defensive schemes they might run to try and stop us and to help and just the kind of guys that are in that room with you, the offensive line guys that are in that room with you that have a lot of experience. You're talking about AT, guys from last season, but AT, you talk about um, Greg, GVR, you talk about Jermaine, Runyon, that are all guys that have had. I think Runyon was or AT. Obviously, I mean, I think he's 3 years ahead of me. So he's going on to he'll be going on to year 7 after this. Year 6 or 7, I'm not even sure, but um he's you talk about just a smart group of guys, and that was one thing that really helped us this season. That we were able to install plays in a matter of a couple minutes and go out there and practice and succeed out there. And you talk about a quarterback that needed that was just getting in there. Obviously, we didn't know Dart was going to be our starting quarterback in OTAs in camp. We didn't know that. We thought Russ was, so we didn't have a lot of experience with Jaxon right off the bat. But as games went on, he got more comfortable out there to help make more calls and to be more confident in the calls he was making. But in the first half, like there was a lot of what should I say? There was more things we had to put on our plate as an offensive line to take some off of the quarterback's plate as him being a younger guy. So
Yeah, I was going to ask if the calls were mostly coming from you in those first few games with him as the starter, more than likely with the protection and stuff like that.
he was able to I mean, he was able to like flip the protection if he needed to be, if he saw something. He had total command. We obviously he was the quarterback, so he had total command. If he saw something, he was able to flip it. But obviously getting up to the line, I'd help him
Yeah.
out. Like I'd ID in the front. Like I do every play. ID in the front. What are we seeing here? What's our call? And then just getting up to the line and giving them a chance to see the whole picture. So
That's great.
yeah.
That's great knowledge. How did you manage the chaos? Like we touched on a little bit, but the chaos of having 3 starting quarterbacks in a span of 1 year. I know it's tough for a center building that chemistry with your quarterback, but how were you able to kind of accelerate that in a matter of a week between different quarterbacks?
Yeah. Yeah, it was all 3 guys started in that room. At least I think Jameis started 2 games, and everyone else
Mm-hmm.
Russ started 3, and then Dart started the rest. But um, you talk about pros in that room, like I said in the beginning. Everyone was able to kind of lean on us and help us out with. You talk about like because every quarterback has a different cadence, and Tanner knows this. So if it definitely helped. We got it definitely helped some of the games. Um I think both games Jameis was in. I think we went silent cadence, and I think Dart when we first started in OTAs. And I think everyone knows this like viral thing with him and Gruden, like with his snap cadence, like all he did was clap. I think everyone saw that video. So he wasn't used to cadence at all. So going through OTAs, going through camp, like he's learning and he's getting better and better each week. Um, and he only continued to get better. So I think that was a big part of it too. And like I said before, like guys
And everybody
that were in that room, like staying ready. Like no matter what, if they were going to start, or if they were going to be a backup, like they knew what we were doing, and that was important. So,
And everybody loves your running back. So tell us about him. I know he unfortunately got injured this year, but everybody's looking forward to seeing what he can do in his NFL career. So tell us just a little bit about him as a person, maybe a funny story you've got with him, because he's a great character, obviously. But I'm sure it's fun blocking for a guy like that too, the way he runs the ball.
yeah, I mean, I don't think you talk about a guy that's just gonna. I mean, he might not be the biggest guy, but I mean, he's gonna lower his shoulder, lower his head, and he's gonna go run through a brick wall for anyone on our team. And
Yeah.
oh man,
There are literally clips of him hitting his head on a brick wall. So
Oh man, that's great. You gotta love guys like that.
Yeah, you talk about a guy that just loves football, and I mean, both of you guys would love to go play with Scat. You talk about a guy that's has the energy to him that lifts up the whole team, and just how he plays. And you talk about many blocks that he's just shrugs off his shoulders or making people miss, and it's special to watch, and it makes as an O-line, like you see that and makes you even go even harder than you already are. So
yeah. Well, transitioning to the biggest news in recent Giants history with the John Harbaugh hire. Obviously, he was with the Ravens for 18 seasons, won Super Bowl 47 in 2012 against his brother Jim, NFL Coach of the Year in 2019. But my favorite thing about him is, and probably yours too, John Michael, is how many O-linemen he's coached in Baltimore that just have had fantastic careers, like Marshall Yanda, future Hall of Famer, Ronnie Stanley, future Hall of Famer, Tyler Linderbaum, he's like a 3-time Pro Bowler, Orlando Brown Jr., 4-time Pro Bowler, Matt Burke, who we know well here in Minnesota. I think he should be a Hall of Famer. Like he's got like 6 Pro Bowls, 2 first-team All-Pros. He was on that Super Bowl team. So that gets me fired up for you and the O-line in New York. But talk about, your take on that and just having a head coach that has that, resume with offensive linemen.
yeah, I think it. I mean, if you listen to his press conference and stuff, I mean, I was able to go to it in person. Being obviously being in New Jersey at the time, so you talk about a guy that was just fired up just to be the head football coach for the New York Football Giants, and to go change the culture and bring winning and sustain it at a high level. So I mean, you got a guy that is passionate about what he does. I mean, I obviously had a couple conversations with him, and he's just um, you talk about a guy that is um, gonna be for the team and gonna hold everyone to a high standard at the end of the day. So, but with the offensive line, I mean, I think the one thing in his press conference that stood out, he was talking to his dad, and his dad was watching film of the Giants, and he was like, "Did you see this O line?" And he brought it up in his press conference. Did you see how they come off the ball and they're just always attacking? And he gave us a little shout out, just
Never
how
full.
exactly, exactly, always attacking, and um, he just gave us a little shout out, a little nod, kind of about how hard we work and how
Nice.
our mentality up front. And I think he knows um, how important an offensive line is for a team and for an offense to really to be a dominant offense. You must have a really good O line. So
No, it's absolutely true. And obviously Daniel Fa'alele, who we talked about played for him in Baltimore, Rashad Bateman, right? Guys who you know pretty well and played with. Obviously, Daniel, you literally played with him together and helped lead him and all that stuff too. So that's got to be unique. You have kind of that connection point. I'm sure Daniel can and Bay can bring in a little bit of that. But speaking more of your former college teammates and all of ours in general, Super Bowl's coming up soon in a week from now. I think that's when we'll drop this podcast. And you've got the Patriots, right, against the Seahawks, and Jack Gibbons, former Mike linebacker for the Gophers, played 1 year. And then Robert Spillane was a guy who we watched as, when we were getting recruited, and he was at Western Michigan. Both of those guys played for Coach Fleck. And then on the other end with the Seahawks, you got Nick Callerup, who was a UDFA tight end, learned from Coach Keefe, was a Coach Keefe kind of disciple, I like to say it, and just a great dude. And now he's playing in the Super Bowl along with Boye Mafe. Right. So it's got to be unique in your standpoint of, obviously you played with a lot of great guys in your years in the NFL, but even looking at dudes you played with in college, one of your teammates again is going to go win a Super Bowl. And that's just got to be unique. And you speak into that a little bit. Obviously you probably don't want to talk about the Patriots and the Giants. I know that's a unique situation, but just kind of, guys that you used to play with, getting a chance to go play to be world champions.
Yeah. I mean, what a platform to go out there or what an opportunity to go out there and play on a platform, and just how blessed they are. I mean, what incredible seasons both teams have had, and the opportunity they get to go out there and play in the Super Bowl, a chance to go win and win it for their team and their city, and then just leave their mark. It's one of obviously everyone, everyone that plays this game, it's what you talk about. It's what you hope you accomplish and or get to that point. So that's what an honor it would be to go out there and go play in the Super Bowl. And obviously good luck to both.
I love it. I can't wait to see you there, man.
Yeah, obviously good luck to both of them.
Can't wait to see you there one day, playing in the Super Bowl. Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to go, John, to our favorite segment that we have. It's called the Honor Roll. Okay. What it is, basically, you're shouting out something. It could be football related, non-football related. Okay. Quinn's going to laugh at me because I usually do two because I'm a little indecisive. I like to give two. All right. So what we're going to do is it's like your Honor Roll of the week. We'll have Quinn start, I'll go, and then you can close us on our Honor Roll segment. We didn't prep you at all for this. You're not starting?
I can't start. I need to think for a second.
He gotta wait. All right, I'll open our honor roll, okay? And in Quinn fashion, I'm gonna end up giving two, okay? My very first one for my honor roll of this week. Again, we've talked about it being cold. Last week on the podcast, we talked about, I think, automatic car starters was one of them. And John, you can even give a dishonorable mention if something's like really just not it. You're going through it, right? Yeah. So my honor roll this week is going to be space heaters. The ones that you can just keep your feet warm if you're in a cold room, but you don't want the whole room to be warm because you don't want to sweat, but you want to have a nice little spot where it's warm. My honorable mention is I got a space heater by my feet at my desk, and it makes a huge difference. So I'm going to shout out the space heater. I know that's silly,
dude.
That's
I need
what I'm
one.
Gonna go with.
I need
you
one
probably
right
do. You're
now.
probably freezing over there.
Freezing right now.
Yeah, well, there you go. There's a Target right by where you live. Go to Target, get a space heater. Okay,
I will.
All right, write it off. You need it to perform your duties. You have an LLC.
That's a tax write-off. That's
right.
write-off.
My second honorable mention, okay, the football-related one, is going to be long drives to close a game. I think we saw it kind of in. There was a lot of interesting situations. The way that the Seahawks closed the game against the Rams was crazy. They had Devin, I think it wasn't Devin Witherspoon, but the holding on, they had a keeper game, which in that situation that Clint Kubiak was calling a pass was crazy, but they just went out and won the game. So a long drive when you're on offense, you're ahead, you go and win the game, right? John, you had a ton of those when we were in college of, hey, John, we're going to go run the ball for 8 minutes straight. Let's go win the game. And as a football team and kind of an identity, when you can do that, that's a great feeling. So that's my honorable mention. And as a fan, just sitting there watching football, and it's a chance to go win the Super Bowl when you have a guy like Sam Darnold and Clint Kubiak who are orchestrating, and they're playing very aggressive to go and win a game like that. So second honorable mention, football related, closing a team on a long drive to go and win a football game. Quinn, are you
All
ready
right, I
now?
got mine. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's go. Fire up.
Sorry for the delay. My honor roll is watching your boys succeed. Like,
Shout
obviously we all have goals in our own life, and we're striving towards those every day. But watching John Michael get picked in the second round and go and start right away and be a dog in the NFL, watching a guy like Nick Callerup, who's playing in the Super Bowl come next Sunday, like, that's incredible. That fires me up more than anything. I am the biggest fan. Jack Gibbons. I am the biggest fan of all of my former teammates, my friends. So my honor roll this week is when your boys are succeeding, getting to be a part of that.
Love it. John.
All right. You said I can have more than one?
You can have more than one.
You can have as many as you want.
Too.
All right. So what is it? It was a thing that we that we did my rookie year, and then we carried it on my second year and third year. Obviously, we did a couple in Minnesota, but it's I'm gonna give my honorable mention to O-line dinners every Thursday. Every Thursday, during a game week, Thursday night, we would do O-line dinners, and it's just a time to kind of unwind and just be around the guys and to just kind of get your mind and just kind of take a second to get away from football and be around a group of guys and trying to and get to know these guys on a personal level. And I think everyone knows how important relationships are in football and how it can carry your team a long way. The more connected team you are. So, yeah, you can say it, Tanner.
I love it.
Did you have a rookie
Connected
dinner?
team's a dangerous team, baby. Gosh, it just flows out of me, boys.
John Michael, did you have a rookie dinner that you had to pay for, and what was the tab?
Oh yeah, so I definitely did have a rookie dinner. We went to this. I couldn't even tell you the restaurant name. It was somewhere in New York City. And the tab was my wife was not happy. It was
enough said.
Yeah. It was around 12, let's just say that.
Whew. I bet the boys were racking up that tab.
But you know what? I had some good veteran guys that put a little money in the pot for me. So they helped me out a bunch.
That's love.
So
that's love.
I was the only rookie actually in my class, so that was the only in my O-line. So they helped me out a bunch. Usually the O-line and quarterbacks will go and do the rookie dinner. So I got helped out a lot. I appreciate that, guys.
Yeah, that's a grind. Yeah, that's also love right there. That's wanting your boys to succeed.
Yeah.
There you go.
Did anyone
you said
on
you
the
had
podcast?
2. That was 1.
Yeah, I honestly got 3.
Okay, give it to him.
Oh, jeez.
I got another one. So has anyone talked about an honorable mention for cold weather football, like a snow game yet?
Not yet.
No.
I mean, you saw it in Denver, obviously in the fourth quarter, how important it was to go out there and run the ball, because obviously the passing conditions were brutal. Everyone saw it, that it was tough to go out there and pass the ball, and when the game matters most, to go and basically to go out there and the game's on the line to go to the Super Bowl, and you needed to go run the ball, and obviously the Patriots got the job done. So yeah,
it's got to be tough. And yeah, Minnesota, Wisconsin, for the Axe, that was a snowy game. I mean, but that's like that's the Big Ten, Northeast, Chicago out here, and I love it. Our listeners are gonna love it. Okay, now we got to hear the third one. What was the third one? That one checks out. That's a good honor roll. We love that. What's your last honor roll? First guy to ever give 3, by the way, and I'm here for it.
I respect it. It's going to be a new standard. Every guest has to have 3 now.
I love it.
Be honored to give 3, and everyone loves these, by the way, if you're a football player. You talk about my third honor roll selection would be smelling salts.
Nice. Even after the
That's
ban?
a good one.
You talk about smelling salts, and you talk about, I remember going down to the tunnel and having the poppets and getting ready to go out on the field, and then the boys getting in the circle and everyone taking a hit of the smelling salt.
That's a core memory. It gets you going, gets the body right.
Gets the
Illegal in the
boys
NFL now,
fired
by the
up.
way. Smelling salts. Don't know how you feel about that.
For teams, yeah. We don't do those still. Yeah, we don't do those.
They're illegal. Smelling salts are illegal. He's talking specifically about college football and the boys getting after it, opening up the poppets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the sticks more. You know, I love the sticks when you snap it real quick, put it right up to the nose.
That's what I was talking about.
I don't know.
I think there's.
I know,
yeah.
but some
the
people,
feel.
some people, you know, like the jar, right?
The jar will put you on your ass if you're not
Oh my
careful.
gosh. Yeah, but the sticks are the best. I always used to love watching people on special teams hit a stick like right before they, you know, if you're on KOR, you snap the stick and they hit it right before right before the kickoff. It's like, man, you are built different. I'm gonna speak on behalf of all of our listeners and all of our guests. I think that is the best honor roll we've ever gotten. I think it has to be. And you saved it for number 3. So I'm glad that you gave 3.
And saved the best for
you
last.
You did.
There
And
you go.
From now on, I think our guests, if they don't give 3, it's, you know, the standard is the standard, and that's the new standard.
John Michael was just +3 in with the honor roll.
He was +3 in that thing.
Man.
I think not. Well, John, you are not an honorable mention. You were an All-American in college. Great teammate, great friend of the podcast. Great friend of Quinn and mine as well. Thank you for being on. Thank you for taking the time in the off season. And like Quinn said, seeing your boys win, that's a really special feeling. And we're excited to keep seeing you win on the field and in life, brother. Thank you. We love you. And thank you for your time, for being on the Honorable Mention podcast, even though you are an All-American, my friend.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, John. Appreciate you, brother.